This is going to sound crazy, but it's absolutely true. Gemini told me that I had a higher probability of winning the Powerball lottery twice than I had of my career history being true and accurate. I know it sounds like a joke, and I wish it was, but this is real life. My life turned upside down because AI doesn't trust me. I was trying to figure out why every post I created, every video I published, every prospect conversation felt like I was pushing a boulder uphill. I have 28 years of experience. So why did it feel so hard? Why did it feel like I was invisible? And what I found was terrifying. My life's work was fragmented online. My experience looked so scattered and disconnected. So I asked Gemini, why does my identity look split across multiple people with the same or similar names? And it said my career was so statistically improbable that there was a near zero chance that my history was true. So it fixed it. It split my career into multiple versions of me. It copied pieces of my work history, filled in the gaps with its own assumptions, and created several fragmented versions of my professional story. So instead of looking like a professional with a 28-year career, I looked like just another opinionated stranger on the internet. Now you may be thinking, okay, that's weird, but why does it matter? Imagine you're talking to a prospect. You're confident, you know you can help. The conversation is going really well, and then they Google you, and they can't find a single clean thread that proves your expertise. They don't see any continuity, they don't see authority. What they see confuses them, and a confused mind doesn't buy. In this world where trust is now everything, confusion kills that trust. And without trust, there's no deal. Now here's what happened to me. In 2024, I left the corporate world and started my own business. And I admit I struggled. Towards the end of 2024, things really started to click. I was hitting millions of impressions per month on LinkedIn. Inbound leads were reaching out. It felt like I had finally hit momentum. And then the crash happened. My posts went from 2 million impressions a month down to hundreds overnight. And at first, I thought it was engagement. But then I realized it was something else. It was authority. And if authority is currency, I wasn't just broke, I was bankrupt. Because once my identity was fragmented, I had no clear authority signal. And platforms don't know what to do with that. My YouTube audience became 100% men ages 25 to 34. My content is not for that audience. So I did what I always do. I looked at the data, I analyzed the patterns, and I tried to find the root cause. And then I did the simplest thing. I Googled myself, and I couldn't believe what I saw. I was basically invisible, buried under a popular fiction author with the same name, and blended into non-existence inside my own domain of expertise. Devastated is not even the word for it. Because this wasn't just an internet problem. This was my identity, my credibility, my business. It's the kind of thing that either makes you feel hopeless or it makes you take action. And I chose action. People have tried to put me in a box my whole life. And AI finally did it in the worst way possible. Not by putting me in one box, but by fracturing me into multiple boxes. And it did it quietly. I spent 2 years building content and chasing traction with no idea that my online identity was broken. People will tell you the chances of this happening are basically zero, but rare doesn't mean never. People win the Powerball lottery all the time. I even heard of somebody who won twice. So I wasn't interested in rare. I was interested in how do I fix it? And I'm happy to say that I figured out why it happened and I now know how to fix it. Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. Now don't worry, I'm not gonna go all geek on you. In plain language, I stopped letting the internet describe me and I rebuilt a single consistent thread of proof that made it easy for AI to understand. This is who I am. This is what I've done. This is what I'm known for. These are the frameworks that I own, and these are the sources that prove it. I basically took my Humpty Dumpty self and started putting the pieces back together again. And the proof came way faster than I expected. Within 24 hours of deploying this fix, I could already see the shift happening. My identity started changing online. My website and content started showing up in places where just one day before, it wasn't showing up. AI even started citing me for my framework. It started linking to answers inside my videos. It started putting me back together again. Here's what I made the system understand. AI is about law of averages. You can't law of average me into oblivion because my story is not average. I'm a category of one. Now that might sound arrogant, but my career was not a straight line. So AI didn't know what to do with me. Now I know I'm not the only one impacted by what's happening right now. Platforms are shifting toward trust and credibility. And as systems move in that direction, anyone with a fragmented identity is going to feel it. It affects how you get found. It affects how you get trusted. It affects whether someone hires you or whether they move on because something feels off. I went from invisible and bankrupt to a category of one, and you can do it too. Don't let search and platform shifts bankrupt your credibility. If this hit a nerve, I'm fixing exactly this for a small founding group of 5 people. This is for you if you've been wondering why recruiters aren't calling you back, if you've ever felt invisible on platforms like LinkedIn or YouTube, and if you've ever Googled yourself and can't find that continuous thread that represents who you really are. I'm only taking a few people where the fragmentation is real and we can document a clear before and after. If you want to be one of the 5, apply using the link in the description. When those 5 spots are filled, I'm closing it down. So did this resonate with you? If so, tell me in the comments, how fragmented does your identity look online?